Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Are we going? I have no idea if we're going. I'm thinking we're going. It's saying we're going. I assume we're going. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Hey, good afternoon. Good evening? Good evening. Um, yeah. So what I want to do is move my stuff from where it is now to somewhere else. Because when I go down now, I'm like, boom, it's in my face. It's too much. I can't have it's just too much. So what I want to do is make way. Make way. And to do that, I need to destroy everything. But that's easy because I have lots of dirt, and that's what I'll use to destroy everything. It's going to take a long time, which is why I decided to do it online. So if I'm going to have to do all this, I'll at least do it so everyone can see me. And get free content. Yay, free content. And maybe, just maybe, someone will join me. But yeah, the purpose of this was to get glow squid, but the way I did it was probably not the best. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and empty all this water out, and then tear this whole thing down. Ha 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 ha. Oh. And the way I don't have any sponges or anything, so I gotta do this the old-fashioned way, which is put blocks, solid blocks and everything. Breathe with me. So yeah, I'm watching the news, and Republicans are real excited that Joe Biden, that there were some like classified documents found in Joe Biden's closet or something. They're super excited about that, and they're saying, "Oh look, we can save Trump by blaming Biden." But the problem is, Biden is doing nothing near what Trump has done. Biden didn't even know that he had documents, turned them over right away as soon as he found out that he had the documents, and cooperates with the people to find the rest of the documents or to go looking. In contrast, Donald Trump lied that he had the documents. He knew that he had the documents. And then when they tried to get him back, he wouldn't give them back. So, and we know Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, sold U.S. secrets to Saudi Arabia for $2 billion. So there's already issues with Trump. The only problem is, why did it take Merrick Garland so long to appoint a special counsel for Trump, but so short to make one for Biden? Why is that? What's wrong with Merrick Garland? Is he like just helping Trump out or what? Like, what's his deal? Everything he seems to do seems to help out Trump. He gave Trump all the time he needed to get his candidates into the government. So now Donald Trump, his coup succeeded. The coup succeeded in that he didn't suffer any consequences for his actions, and he got to use the coup as campaigning to get his people elected, and now they control the House of Representatives. The coup was successful. They did a good job. They got the Department of Justice to delay and wait until Donald Trump had his people in government. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, sure, maybe Garland will eventually come around to indicting Donald Trump, but it's not going to matter because Donald Trump it's like cancer. If you wait too long to cut the tumor out of cancer, what happens is the cancer spreads to the rest of the body. So even if you go in and cut out the tumor, it doesn't matter. The cancer is all over the body. Well, that's what's happened with Donald Trump. Donald Trump staged a coup to overthrow the government, and nothing happened to him. And so he got to metastasize. He got to spread his cancer evil all throughout the government. And that's what's happened. Now the United States government has a bunch of white supremacists who want to overthrow the American democracy in it. And the Department of Justice just took forever and let Donald Trump do it. They helped him do his coup. In contrast, when you see Biden, like right away, like less than how many days? I think it was like super quick that Garland assigned a special prosecutor for Joe Biden. So like he's totally favoring Donald Trump. Garland is absolutely favoring Donald Trump, giving Trump all the time he needs in order to put his people into key positions to overthrow the government. And then all Garland did was go after the little people. He never went after the leaders. He never got the leaders. So they were free to organize to do the next coup. So every coup that doesn't succeed is actually just practice. It's a practice run. They got a lot of good practice out of this last one, and that means the next time they do their coup, it will succeed. And like, what am I gonna say, dude? What am I gonna say? The Department of Justice has a lot of white supremacists inside of it, and they don't want to take down Donald Trump. I mean, the United States is born from white supremacy. White supremacists do not want to give up their power. They're not going to give up their power. So sure, we can watch a white supremacist try to overthrow democracy, and the white justice system will do nothing. Best believe that if those people were black, they would have been shot. It would have been a bloodbath of dead black bodies. You guarantee it. Do you remember when people were protesting against Donald Trump's because he kept killing black people with police, and he sent the troops out? He sent the troops out against non-violent people protesting against police brutality. And he sent the guard. He sent the troops after them. Imagine if those people weren't being non-violent, they were black, and they were attacking the Capitol. Donald Trump wouldn't have just sent the troops. They would have been killed. The troops would have shot all those people. But because it was a white supremacist coup, everyone's walking around with kid gloves. Oh, the white supremacists, can't be too hard on the white supremacists. See, glow squid. I don't even need that much room. I can probably just make a tiny... What I need is just a way for them to die easily. And I don't have the automatic collection system. Anyways. Yeah. So like, look in Brazil. Brazil just had the same thing happen there that happened here. The supporters of what's his name? Bolsonaro tried to overthrow the government, and they all got arrested that night. They didn't get to go home. They didn't get to delete Facebook images and messages. They didn't get to do any of that. They didn't get to go to work the next day. They got arrested right away. Something the United States could not do to white supremacists as they tried to overthrow American democracy. The Americans let all the white supremacists go home, and only afterwards, after the citizens started doing a crowd-funded search, did they find these people. It wasn't the authorities who tracked down the January 6th insurgents. It was other Americans who did it, because the Justice Department has lots of white supremacists inside of it who wanted the coup to succeed. Same thing with the FBI, same thing with the Secret Service, and obviously the majority of Republicans in Congress are white supremacists who want to overthrow the government. Obviously, the majority of Congress people in the House right now voted to not certify the 2020 election. They tried to get the coup going. The majority of Republicans in the House tried to get the coup going. They voted for the coup. They voted for the coup. That's the metastasis of Donald Trump, that the Department of Justice allowed to happen because it took too long. Now all these white supremacists feel like they have like a case or something. They're like, oh yeah, nothing happened to anyone who went to January 6th. That must mean nothing happened. Well, I don't know. I kind of see it a little bit differently. I think they're all traitors. And I think Donald Trump should be executed by the United States as per U.S. law. That's what the United States does to traitors, per its laws. That's what needs to happen. And the United States has already done this to other people. Donald Trump used the death penalty 13 times when he was president. So he has no problems. He understands full well what it means to commit a crime that's worthy of the death penalty. That's what Donald Trump did. So, all we're doing is waiting for the Department of Justice to act. But for some reason, it's not acting. It's taking really, really long time. And that allowed white supremacists to take over the House of Representatives. And that's what's going on right now. White supremacists have taken over the House of Representatives, and it was a long plan, right? It wasn't a short plan; it was a long plan of the white supremacists. It started. Remember when the Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency? That was in 2018, right after Donald Trump got elected, 2016 to 2018. That's when the Republicans had a trifecta. And the Republicans, with their trifecta power, used the process of reconciliation. That way they can avoid any filibuster. And Republicans used the power of reconciliation and the power of their trifecta to pass the most important legislation for them. What was their most important legislation that they used all their power for? They changed the tax code to make billionaires pay the lowest tax in America. That's what they used their trifecta power for. They changed the tax code to give billionaires a massive tax cut. So what happened after Republicans used all their power to pass the 2018 tax cuts for billionaires was that the deficit obviously exploded. It's like, hey guys, we're bringing in $1 million, but now I have this plan, and now we're only going to bring in $500,000. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? The people with the most money, they don't have to pay anything. But that's great. But now we have a bill for $1 million, and we don't have $1 million anymore because I stopped taking money from the rich people. Oh no! That's exactly their plan. They knew that by not collecting taxes, they're going to make the deficit explode. And that means the debt ceiling would come up much, much sooner. So that's what happened, right? The taxes, we're not getting enough revenue because we're not taxing rich people. And rich people are the biggest tax cheats. That's why Republicans wanted to defund the IRS, because their number one concern is rich people. They need to keep rich people in power. And the rich people just happen to be white supremacists. I don't know if they happen to be. They'll use whatever ideology will get them power. They don't really care. Like, if you're rich and you're black, that's fine, as long as you're rich. If you're rich and you're Muslim, that's fine, as long as you're rich. Their number one rule for them is to be rich. But if using racism will keep the poor people divided so they never notice the rich people, oh yeah, they'll use it. Rich people, the wealthy will totally use racism and sexism to divide the people, to make sure they never get unity and notice that the rich people have the power. So Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans created this fiscal nuclear bomb. They knew what they were doing. To make the GOP nuclear bomb, what they did was they cut taxes for the rich so that the United States wasn't getting enough money. And then, because the United States wasn't getting enough money, its debt ceiling came up real quick. And the Republicans are going to use the debt ceiling to make the Democrats give up Social Security and Medicare. They want to weaken. They want to get concessions. They say, "Hey, everyone, we're gonna basically kill the credit of the United States and destroy the world economy unless you give us what we want." Isn't that awesome? Of Republicans? Yeah, they're Nazis. They're fascists. So, and we know that this is what's going to happen because Kevin McCarthy told us. He told us that Kevin McCarthy told us, look, guys, I know that the number one weakness of the United States is their debt. That's why Kevin McCarthy made the debt so big, because then he could use it as a club to beat down the Americans. Oh yeah, Kevin McCarthy. It was a long plan, and they've done it before. It's not like it's not a new thing. They do it all the time. In fact, the last time they did it with the Democratic president, Barack Obama said, "Hey, Republicans, how about this? How about I give up Social Security? I let you cut Social Security. You can cut Social Security as much as you want. All you have to do is get rid of the debt ceiling. That's it. That's it." I saw Barack Obama say this, and I got really, really, really mad. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kill Social Security. How could you do that, Barack Obama? How could you betray us? How could you give up Social Security like that? But Barack Obama was smart. He knew that the Republicans were white supremacists, so they could never, ever take it. So even though Barack Obama offered to give up Social Security to the Republicans in exchange to take away the debt ceiling, the Republicans knew that the debt ceiling was their club, their bat. And Barack Obama was asking the Republicans to give up their bat. But if they don't have a bat, then they can't beat up people with it anymore. So Republicans said, no, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take Social Security and give up our bat. No. And I was amazed. I could not believe that happened. I thought for sure Republicans would destroy Social Security. And they didn't. They'd rather keep their debt ceiling than give up Social Security. And now they're going to try to get both at the same time. They're going to try to keep the debt ceiling and kill Social Security. That's their plan. So yeah, I'm kind of frustrated. I mean, like, I'm watching this happen. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. It's terrible. And then over here in Oregon, we passed a law called Measure 114, which places pretty strict gun limits and magazine limits and stuff on firearms in Oregon. So on Facebook, well, obviously, right, Republicans, white supremacists are opposed to this. Now, there are liberal gun owners, right? Sure. But the vast majority of gun worshippers are white supremacists, because white supremacy is inherently predicated on violence. You can't have white supremacy without violence. You can't do it. You need the violence in order to maintain white supremacy. So, and in the United States, primarily that's through guns. So white supremacists are, as a rule, are generally very, very, very opposed to gun control, any form of gun control. So on Facebook, they had a story about like how judges were blocking the will of the people in Oregon. And who come into the Facebook comments but a bunch of white supremacists saying things like, don't they know that gun control can never work in the United States? And so I asked them, well, why can't gun control work in the United States? What's wrong with Americans that gun control doesn't work here? It works in every other country. Like, they don't have mass shootings in other countries on the regular like we do here. But But these white supremacists are saying, oh, but Americans can't do that. So I'm trying to figure out, well, what's wrong with Americans that they're not able to do gun control? And I'm talking, and well, one woman said, well, one of the reasons why Americans can't figure out that gun control can't, or one of the reasons why gun control can never work in the United States is because guns have no effect on crime. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Because guns have no effect on crime, you would think, then, why not get rid of them if they have no effect on crime? But, you would save lives if you did that. But the white supremacists, like, get confused. And they start calling me names. They're like, I don't care if guns have no effect on crime. Okay? So white supremacists really aren't able to say why they're opposed to gun control. But I can tell you why. It's because white supremacy is predicated on violence. And guns are their primary force of violence. I'm not saying that you can't hurt other people with knives or bats or anything, but you can't commit a mass, like, it's a lot harder to commit a mass stabbing than it is to commit a mass shooting. That's why we have lots and lots of mass shootings in the United States, and there are not lots and lots of mass stabbings in other countries, even though the knives are still legal. Now, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm all about gun control. I think what we got here is dumb. Like, I'm not like the white supremacists. I don't think the problem is that Americans are too stupid. I think a large number of Americans are white supremacists, and so they intrinsically try to hold on to their violent advantage. I understand that there are people with a legitimate need for a firearm, like people who live out in rural areas and they got to deal with like bears and coyotes and shit like that. Okay, I can see why you might need a long gun to protect yourself. All right. But who needs an assault rifle? Who needs a 30 round magazine? A soldier does, to kill people, not regular people to go hunting to protect you from a bear. Yeah, but these pro Second Amendment people just couldn't figure it out. They're like, well, I understand that guns have no effect on crime rate, but I still want to hold on to my guns, even though, but they kill people. So white supremacists are willing to kill children, have children die, like in Uvalde. Totally willing. That's no problem. In order to touch guns, they will kill children. They will sacrifice children. They will sacrifice children to touch guns. That's what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a little bit upset. I'm seeing white supremacists like detail how they plan to use a financial nuclear bomb to destroy the United States, and how they plan to weaponize the government to protect Donald Trump. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty shitty, dude. That's pretty shitty. How come there's so many white supremacists in the United States? And I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking talked about this last week. The reason why there's so many white supremacists in the United States is because traditionally media has been gatekept. traditionally, media has been gate-kept, so there are only a few sources of information, so people all got brainwashed into white supremacy, the older generations. But the millennials were the first generation to grow up with the internet. The internet doesn't have as many or it didn't, at least at that time, didn't have nearly as many gatekeepers. It didn't have nearly as many gatekeepers, so millennials weren't brainwashed into white supremacy. So yeah, the reason why we have so many white supremacists now is because the previous generations were kind of brainwashed into it. It's only recently, with the advent of the internet, that a new form of consciousness has been allowed to develop. But it's a shame that I have to wait for the youth. I'm sitting there trying to teach other people, and like, I don't know, man. They have a hard time. It's like difficult for them to understand. It's because they've been brainwashed for so long into talking points that they're not able to think, really. They're not really thinking. They're repeating talking points. So when I like disable or disarm their talking point, they get confused and then turn hostile. Like the person was saying that they're like, this gun control law isn't gonna lower crime. Just because you take away the guns doesn't mean crime is going to go down. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Guns don't have any effect on crime rate whatsoever. You're right. The only effect that guns have is on the death rate of how many people die to guns. You're right. So if you get rid of guns, it's not going to make an increase in crime. You're right. And then the pro-gun person was like, so I'm like, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. But then since it got twisted on that person, they got angry at me and started yelling. Right? They just don't. And I think it's because they haven't had the opportunity to leave the United States. I was very, 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 very fortunate. I was very, very, very lucky in that I was able to live outside the United States, not as a soldier, for many years. I lived in France, I lived in Spain, I lived in Japan, and I visited many, many countries. I got to live outside the United States. So so for me, it's a lot easier to like see these things. If you're raised inside of here and you never leave it and you never get out of here, it's really hard to be able to imagine a world different than here. Because you don't know any better. You don't know anything. You don't know how it could be different. Because you don't know. You can't know. I could not replicate what I did before because what I did before required lots of flying. And now I have an acute awareness that flying equals greenhouse gases. And I know people fly all the time, and I still fly to go to funerals, but it's a different time now. Times are different. Can't be coddling people anymore. Okay. Originally, I was going to have my thing up there. Originally. But it didn't work out. So I made that big square. And for a while, it was good. But then I realized this too is no good. Because I have to like manually go over there and kill them. But then I realized, man, look how many I have. I almost have a stack, and I'm like, just by doing nothing. All I have to do really is go make another pool somewhere. Not even that deep. It could be like pretty shallow. And just go every once in a while, go walk over there and kill stuff. I don't even have to. I'll just go over here and do it. Okay. Like, I can even go down. I don't even need to go up. So let me log out 17 by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Boom. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, wait. I can't. This thing's here. Put it in another place. In another place. Yeah, like... So George Santos is one of the newly elected members of the Republican majority in the House. And it turns out that George Santos lied about everything about him. He lied about his ethnicity, his past, his experiences, his like everything. He lied about everything. And it's hilarious. So people are saying, "Hey, you gotta quit." And he's like, I'm never quitting. I got into power. I'm never giving it up." Because that's how Republicans are. And Kevin McCarthy needed George Santos to be there in order to get a vote for speakership. So Kevin McCarthy's like, "Yeah, I have no problem having this fraud as GOP. I have no problem because he votes for me and gives me power." Oh, Kevin, look, Republicans are so bad. Look, they're such Nazis, dude. Like, how could you vote for that? I mean, there are people who see what the Republicans do and go, "Yeah, I love what you're doing. I love that you're corrupt. I love it. I want to vote for you because you're corrupt. I love it. I'm corrupt too. I love it." Like, how can you live with people like that who willingly, purposely vote for corruption into our government? Like, yeah, they're not going to get rid of George Santos. The Republicans love power more than than anything else. They have no integrity. They don't care. They don't care that he's a fraud. Most of them are frauds too. The majority of Republicans have taken money from Russian mobsters. That's a fact. Republicans have taken money from Russian mobsters in order to defeat Democrats. But when you take money from Russian mobsters, you owe Russian mobsters something. So of course, a lot of Republicans are against Ukraine now because they took Russian money. That's another problem with Merrick Garland. Like, he's taking so long to do the January 6th thing. He's never going to get or the Mar-a-Lago document thing. He's never going to get around to the time that Donald Trump conspired with the Russians to overthrow our democracy in 2016. Because that actually happened. And the only thing that stopped Merrick Garland or Robert Mueller from indicting Donald Trump was some stupid memo saying that you can't indict a sitting president, which kind of leads me to believe that sounds kind of white supremacist-like. That sounds like a white supremacist rule, like something you'd only use to preserve white supremacy. It sounds pretty shitty, is what I'm saying. That you can't indict a sitting president. Bullshit. Everyone's subject to the law. Yeah, major problems. Like, because I'm watching the coup metastasize. And why? Because Merrick Garland took too fucking long. He waited like, how long? Like fucking like 200, 300 days before he announced a special counsel for Donald Trump. Like, how much resources how resource starved was the Department of Justice? A lot. They had way too many cases for the amount of people they had to do anything. But Merrick Garland fucking sucked it up for Donald Trump. But the moment that Biden needs a special prosecutor, oh yeah, he's right on top of it. Spare no expense. Fuck. It kind of makes you think Merrick Garland is in on it. Is with the white supremacists. Yeah, guys, look how long it's been. Donald Trump tried to overthrow the government 2 years ago, and nothing happened to him. He's running for president. That's what happened. So if you're a rich white guy, you can overthrow the government and then run for president 2 years later, and nothing will happen to you. But if you're just a guy, if you're a black guy walking down the street, the police will murder you for no reason and get away with it. Elijah, oh man, what's his name? Elijah, not Woods, Cummings? It's bullshit. I'm gonna do it right here. Right here! 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I forgot it's like super speed mode. I have my super pick on. Or haste 2. 1. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna do. Right here, just 2. 1, 2, like this. Yeah, a 2 deep hole. It's fine. I'll just see them and then walk over and kill them. Long pickaxe. Yeah, I just see Brazil as a foil. to the United States. Like, that's a country that's really, really cares about its multiracial democracy. Its democracy. And I'm looking over here at the United States, and I'm like, damn, dude. Like, a huge percentage of the country tried to overthrow our government, and nothing happened to them. Nothing happened to the leaders. The small people got arrested, but the leaders got away with nothing. Like, that's super white supremacy, guys. That's total white supremacy. Like, that's like the definition of white supremacy. That white supremacists can overthrow the government and get away with it with nothing happening to them. That's the definition of white supremacy. The state. That's when the law protects but does not bind you. When the law protects but does not bind white supremacists. But the law binds but does not protect Black Americans. If a white supremacist tries to overthrow the government, they'll get a slap on the wrist if anything happens to them at all. If a black man goes walking down the street, he can be killed at any moment by the police officer, and the police guy will get away 99% of the time. That's white supremacy. That's the law binding you but not protecting you. And Donald Trump is how the law protects you but does not bind you. That means we live in an unjust society. And we have to change it. We have to fight to fix it because it's broken right now. It's unjust. It's not right that a white supremacist can break the law and get away with it. It's not right that a law-abiding black man can't walk down the street without getting murdered by the police, by the state. It's not right. So who are we? Are we a people who fight for what's right, or are we a bunch of white supremacists who will sell our integrity for power? Lusai. Yeah, if you know anything about cancer, it's a really good metaphor for explaining fascism. And well, for explaining the insurrection, in that Donald Trump from the very beginning had his intention was never to leave power. From the very beginning, he never intended to leave power. And his supporters, the people who back Donald Trump and the Republicans, they don't want to ever give up power. They will never give up power once they have it. I mean, Donald Trump tried to overthrow the government when he lost his election. Republicans will never give up power. Because any election they lose, they're going to say that oh, it's rigged or whatever. They've already done it. It's their brand now. That's what Republicans are. That's their brand. That's what they do. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Who's gonna get justice first? Will it be Donald Trump or will it be Bolsonaro? Um, the Brazilian government is already asking for the extradition of one of the security guys that was here with Bolsonaro when the coup took place in Brazil, the attempted coup. They haven't, and Bolsonaro is in the United States on a special visa called an A1 visa that's only given to heads of state. But Bolsonaro, after the coup, after that happened, is no longer head of state of Brazil. So what is he doing here? Why is he still in the United States if his visa is no longer valid? Why and the people he's with are wanted for trying to overthrow government? Why is he still in the United States? Like, what message are we sending to our Brazilian friends when we'll protect criminals from their country? Like, oh, Brazil, yeah, this guy over here, he tried to overthrow your country, yeah, but we're gonna let him stay in our country. Oh my God, do you want to be friends with people like that? Yeah. Oh, hi, neighbor. Oh, you're saying my roommate's friend who's sleeping on my couch? You say that he screwed you over and he tried to rob you and steal your stuff? Oh, that's a shame. But he gets to stay on my couch anyways. I'm not gonna kick him off. Oh, I would be really, really mad at you then. I'd be like, you're a piece of shit then if you're gonna harbor a criminal. Yeah, Brazilians got to be wondering, what's up with the Americans? Why are they protecting criminals who tried to overthrow our government? What's that say about the Americans? Right? Americans? What's that say about us? Like, we know that Bolsonaro is an ally of Donald Trump. And we know that the coup attempt in Brazil looked exactly like the coup attempt in the United States. And we know that both Bolsonaro and Trump are really good friends with Vladimir Putin. And Russia in general. And we know that Russians have given a lot of money to Republicans. And we know that a lot of Republicans really, really like Russia and really don't like Ukraine, the enemy of Russia. I mean, kind of, just a little bit. Try to connect the dots here, you know? Just a little bit, connect some dots. Just a few of them. If you need help, I'll help you out. All right. So this is only too wide. I wonder if I can get hoppers to like, if I like no, I have to get it to flow downward one level. Yeah, fascism. It's an international thing. It's not just in one country. Like, fascism didn't end when Nazi Germany was defeated. That wasn't the end of fascism. That was the end of that particular manifestation at that particular time, but that wasn't the end of fascism. Not at all. No way. Just that one particular time, just that one particular manifestation. But fascism can manifest again in another form. Like that. What's to stop it? It's just an idea. I mean, the thing that stops it is education and taking care of everybody. But we haven't been doing that in the United States. We haven't been taking care of everybody. And we are historically a nation built from white supremacy and genocide. It's our original sin. It's like literally built into us. It's literally built into us. It's built into us. We have to actively get rid of it. It's not something that just like, oh, well, I just decide not. No, you have to actively get rid of it. It's in every single one of them. Every single American. You can't get away from it. There's no getting away from it. None. You can't do it. By virtue of being here, you have that original sin. So yeah. In fact, Nazi Germany got its inspiration from Jim Crow America. It came from us. It came from us. It's our responsibility. Okay, if I put a layer on top of this one and then put another layer on top. Oh, I got it. Okay, I know how. I see. Okay, so it's like this. I should use dirt, but oh well. Oh well. But make no mistake, white supremacists are absolutely about and have taken control of the House of Representatives. They're the majority of the Republicans in the House of Representatives. A majority of Republicans in the House of Representatives voted to overturn the 2020 election. A majority of the Republicans in the House of Representatives are white supremacist insurrectionists, are traitors. A majority of Republicans. I mean, that's a fact. A majority of Republicans in the United States House of Representatives voted in 2020 to overturn the vote of the people and substitute Donald Trump. It's a fact. So what do we call people who try to overthrow a democracy? Besides traitors. Fascists, white supremacists, Republicans. I am broadcasting this on the internet for everyone to hear me. I own these words. And I'm not backing down. I won't back down. Stand my ground. Tom Petty apologized for using the Confederate flag on his album cover. He said he was young and didn't understand the context, the historical context. Fair enough. He was an older guy. And information was hard to come by. You kids have it easy. Information, you guys are, it's like the opposite for you. For you, you have to block out information. You have to stop it because you're swimming in it and it's all around you trying to get into your brain. But in the older generations, let me bring this up again. I got to show you this again. In the for the older generations, it wasn't like that. It was an information vacuum. Before the radio, you had newspaper. like and you had like maybe one or two newspapers in your town if you lived in town. If you didn't, then you didn't get a newspaper. You didn't read. Like, yeah, did you read? That's another thing. Reading is a relatively new thing. Like not everyone got to read. Like, compulsory education made it so that everyone got to read. Before, reading was only the purview of like the wealthy. So it's great that everyone gets to read now and access information. So what I'm saying is that it was really, 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 really hard to get information back in the day. It's the exact opposite now, but back in the day it was hard to get information. So Tom Petty, I can understand why he would be why he would buy at first the fiction of the Confederate flag and not understand that the Confederacy is a traitorous organization that deserves contempt. And he apologized for it. He said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my ignorance. I didn't realize how bad was the Confederacy." He said so. So I'm cool with Tom Petty now. He's all right. He apologized. Because he came to understand the original sin of the United States and of himself, of all Americans, white Americans. So yes, I own these words, and I won't back down. Republicans are white supremacists who are trying to overthrow American democracy, multiracial democracy, and install white supremacy. They've tried it before under a different name with different bodies, but yeah, it's the same spirit. Nani? That's funny. Deepen this ravine just a little bit. Ah! That's hilarious. Okay. Where do I put this stuff? It's like too much. This. Okay, I need water. Water. I thought I had some. It's so hard to see. Okay. There. Like, if Merrick Garland needed more people, why didn't he ask for a bigger budget? Why didn't he appoint a special prosecutor and give that special prosecutor a huge budget? He could have did all these things, but instead he chose to wait and let the cancer metastasize. And it's going to complicate things going forward. I mean, as it is, Ohio is like kind of screwed because white supremacists have like used corruption to take over everything. Like the governor is a white supremacist who won because of racial gerrymandered maps and vote suppression. And then he appointed his son to the Supreme Court. And then his son on the Supreme Court like decided the case that said the maps were okay or something like that. Like it's just corruption on top of corruption. And then then he brought his buddy on to like help out. So like Ohio is being locked in for white supremacy. Like a minority of people are going to control a majority of the government. When the United States is supposed to be a democracy whereby the majority of people are the ones who rule the government. I mean, that's the whole point of having a vote, is that you know what the majority wants. But Republicans, remember, want to get rid of the vote. They voted in 2020 to overturn the will of the voters, to substitute their own voters, their own idea. So we already know they're not on our team. They're bad faith. They don't believe in America. I mean, Republicans don't believe in America. That's the truth of it. They allied with Russians. They allied with total fraudsters. They lie about everything. They don't believe in America. They don't believe in the dream. They believe only in white supremacy and power. Which is why I tell you, Republicans are enemies of the United States. Your vote matters. Your vote is very important. It's sacred. You can say whatever pretty words you want, but it comes down to your vote. Where do you put your power? Because your vote is your power. So the question is, where do you put your power? I think people forgot about what the vote means. I think Republicans don't even understand. A lot of them don't even understand what the vote means anymore. They're just white supremacists. All right, here's what we're going to do. Okay, so that goes halfway. And then this side should also go halfway. Oops. Is this even? Yes. Okay. So... Okay. Let me think. I think they have to replace all these with hoppers, or that whole line with hoppers. I'm trying to make this automatic, and I'm trying to remember how I saw the video do it. Okay, hoppers. No hoppers here. You gotta understand, the thing holding back the United States is white supremacy. If we can defeat white supremacy, we will be the best nation in the world. What is white supremacy? White supremacy. Have you seen the movie Captain Marvel? White supremacy is the inhibitor on Captain Marvel. I mean, you can call that patriarchy. I mean, if you want to stay specific to Captain Marvel, then the inhibitor on Captain Marvel is patriarchy. But in terms of the United States, what I mean is that all of the it takes a lot of energy to oppress half your population and to maintain that power control. It takes a lot of energy to maintain that control. It's energy that's wasted because it's energy being used to push people down. So and someone's got to be in control of that energy, right? So and the people pushing down are white supremacists. If you stop if you take control away from white supremacists of government, which is doing the pressing, well, helping the pressing, and you instead use it to help Americans, use government instead of pushing down, you lift up Americans, you can do, like, imagine, it's like instead of Captain Marvel having only half her energy, once she takes off that inhibitor, she's she has all the energy that's hers anyways, plus the energy that was used to push down. Instead of pushing down so hard, all the energy is going to go straight up, and we're going to be flying. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you. It's called multiracial democracy. It's real easy. It's to narrow it down as much as possible. It's called multiracial democracy. And there's a group of people, white supremacists, who are fighting to stop multiracial democracy. And there's another group of people who are working to implement multiracial democracy. That's your two groups you need to look for. That will help orient you. That will get you started. It's like I timed it. All right. Well, I was in the middle of something. Hoppers. We're going to need a chest. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to break these blocks and replace them with hoppers. Going in here. Bop, right there. Okay. See, there's already a glow squid under here. They're already spawning. It's already happening. Okay. Then I get hoppas. Hoppa. No, not that way. Shit. Damn it. I can't see, dude. Here. There. That's much better. Got it. Now I can't breathe. Ah! Okay. All right. Okay. Now, you know what? I hope this is right. I wonder if I have to go one level lower. No, 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 no. Like, I don't know. We're gonna find out. Oh no, not the hoppers. Ah, damn it. Okay. Okay. Oh, I wrecked it. I wrecked this hopper line. Okay. 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 Damn it. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah. Pretty infuriating to be witnessing stuff like this just go on. I don't know. And what made it possible? Fox News. Fox News, because like fascists like Tucker Carlson have like an entire like TV station to spread fascism and lies. Like it's ridiculous how much power, and why? Because an Australian billionaire by the name of Rupert Murdoch bought Fox News and can do whatever he wants. Yeah, billionaires suck. Like, billionaires should not exist. They have entirely too much power. They should not exist. Especially when we have homeless people. I mean, what's up with that? How can you have billionaires, someone with more money than they can spend in their entire lifetimes, at the same time as people with literally no place to live out in the elements? How can you have both at the same time? Like, there is no way to do that while justice is present. Therefore, that must mean justice is not present. Every block that there was right below it, you have to put a water thing, so it's a full block again. That way, the water up here is literally flowing on top of other water. Like, this is a source block, and it will be flowing on top of the source block I'll put under here. That way, theoretically, the squid are gonna beach themselves on the hoppers, and then die, and then drop their things in here for me. But I have to do this very carefully, for if I mess up, I have to start over. I think it's this one. Well, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it be? That's the only one that's not solid, except for the top, which you don't want to be solid. Okay, so there. Oh, this is so funny. Okay. This side too, huh? Okay. Okay. That's so funny. Oh, can they still beach themselves here? Or did I go too high? Ah, like, I kind of want to waterlog these guys, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. Like, I heard you have to block them up anyways because they get caught in them, but not if you waterlog them. Here, let me just keep going around. It's so funny. I'm gonna empty my bucket of water underwater, and then I'll grab more water from another part before I dump it again. What? Okay. Okay. So it goes in Minecraft. Okay, it works there. What about over here? Because I'm afraid they'll get well, like if I waterlog them, they won't get stuck. So, and they're in the second layer, so it's all right. Is that it? I believe so. Okay, let's walk away. Walk away, walk away, walk away. Look at my little golem. Fight golem, be the... Fight on! Look at him, he's battle scarred. Oh, you battle scarred veteran. Here, shiny and new again. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Nothing yet. That's like 30-ish blocks, right? I can't see anything now. No. Come on, dude. I saw glow squid in there like before. Oh, here. You know what I should do is replace all this water with glass so I can see what's happening. Well, let me verify it's working first, right? Like, how far do I have to be? Is this not 30 blocks? Maybe not. Look at all this cave water. It's too deep. You can spawn in it. Oh, it's 3 deep even. It's only when you go up to the top 4. Okay. Come on, gotta spawn. Maybe because it's too bright. Let me kill the dark. It's too bright. Let me take the light away. I don't know if light levels have anything to do with it, but it couldn't hurt to recreate conditions. You know, pretty good, pretty okay. All right. Okay, Squid Farm, don't let me down. Because the mechanics are pretty cool. I think I got the mechanics working. Ball of sun. Yeah, these guardians are absolutely necessary. Just non-stop slimes. Non-stop. It's either that or carpet everywhere. No, there's nothing. Why were you sitting on top? Why weren't you flowing down? I don't know. Come on, glow squid. Oh, do I have to cover it? I would have thought. Oh yeah, there's one right there. Okay. So he should theoretically float on top and beach himself. But he's not. Oh, not yet. Wait. Come. Do it. Come on. Float. Get caught in the current. Go toward the hopper. Yes, yes. Why are you not beached upon the hopper? Maybe I need. Maybe I have to go a level down, lower. The hoppers are too high. Okay. So he's not gonna beach himself. The whole point was you're supposed to float up. Maybe I have to put like soul sand or something on the bottom to push them up. Like, are you just too good for your home? What's wrong? Come on. Yeah, he never goes. So I think I need this one a thing lower. It has to be like down here. And then this has to go. And then I should not have done that or waterlogged it. But you know what? Should I put buttons there? Yeah, I need to put buttons there or something to stop the water from coming in. Or like buttons or yeah, buttons. Buttons would be the cheapest one. Like it didn't stop the water. Oh, that's because it won't let me. It's gonna be waterlogged. Ah, man. All right. How about this? How about this? And buttons. Will that stop it? Can the button stop the tide? I'm looking behind me, and it's looking like probably no. Those buttons look already waterlogged. I'm wrong. It's holding up. Will this even work though? What am I even doing? It doesn't work anyways because they're not. These things don't go up there. Oh, well, whatever. I'll look into it and fix it later. Okay, what time is it? I've been in $1:35. All right. What else can I do besides rant about the the white supremacists? Is there something good I can talk about? Something good. I saw Hamilton on Disney Plus. That was a great show. I don't ever remember being young enough to have that much energy to basically do a non-stop music video for like 2 hours. That's incredible. It's just amazing. With like costume changes. Like, oh my god. It was a great, and like the story was really good. I like how it was all woven together. It was really well written, well performed. Everything about it was great. I can see why everyone was talking about Hamilton. Oh yeah, I can like repair my tool. Yar, yar. Oh, so loud. Audio. Players. And what is that? Blocks. Alright. Much more manageable. I can handle hanging out next to the thing now, because it's not going to break my eardrums. But I know it's on because the light's flashing. Yay! Yay for innovation. And look at, my tool is slowly being repaired. With the souls of pigmen. As zombie pigmen, undead pigmen, unnatural pigmen. In this way, I can maintain top-notch tools. But yes, it requires many zombie pigmen. The souls of many zombie pigmen. I could say that my pickaxe runs on the souls of zombie pigmen. Like, not, it doesn't run on it, but it's like held together. Structurally maintained. But yeah, then I eat their gold, right? In golden carrots. So in a way, yeah. Oh wait, not done, not done. Almost done. What else has been going on? Here, I can look in my Twitter real quick. Or can I? Profile. What was I talking about today? Steve Bannon, like, he had a court date today, a trial date, a court appearance or whatever. But it was called off, and they delayed the whole thing. Why? Because Steve Bannon isn't talking to his lawyers anymore. They're like, oh, he's not talking to his lawyers anymore. Everyone stop. We have to let the white supremacists, we have to leave him to be free now. But if you were a black guy that didn't have a lot of money, you'd be sitting in jail. Right now, we have untold numbers of poor people sitting in jail for the crime of not being able to pay their bail. Or maybe a parking fine or something stupid like that. Meanwhile, we have Steve Bannon, architect of the January 6th coup, like, walking around free because he doesn't want to talk to his lawyers. And everyone's like, oh well. Why does he get all these why does the white supremacist get every single benefit of the doubt while no one else gets like any kind of anything whatsoever? Did you see the video of there was a famous famous football person who was like in first class on the plane to fly home, and the stewardesses didn't like him, so they kicked him off the plane. They tried to kick him off the plane because they didn't like him. They tried to make up stuff about him, which was just bullshit, right? Then they called in like the fire, search and rescue, like police people, to say that like because like if he was unruly or if he needed assistance or something. And they talked to him. He was like, "No, he was fine. He was fine. Everything was cool." And the flight attendants kept trying to point out things to get him in trouble, to say anything to justify them calling like basically the police to come kick him off the plane. And he's like, "Yeah, like, like there's like." He's saying that he's fine. He doesn't want to leave the plane. Nothing wrong with him. He's not in medical distress. He's okay to fly. He's ready to go. And the flight attendants were like, "Well, we don't want him on the plane now." And then the guy said, "Well, we can't just kick him off the plane. We have to kick everyone off the plane." And the flight attendants were like, "All right, we'd rather kick everyone off the plane just to get this one black guy off the plane that we don't like." And unbeknownst to these flight attendants, that black guy that they didn't like happened to be like some NFL superstar. So it's all over the Twitter now. I need to find it so I can show you guys. But it's hilarious. Yeah, white supremacy. And people leaving the plane were getting mad at him, at the black guy. When he didn't do anything. All he wanted to do was go home like everyone else. But it was the flight attendants who just made up stuff to get him off the plane. And people were getting mad at him. Old white guys were getting mad at him, the black guy. And he's like, "I don't care, dude. I'm going to go home on a private jet. You guys are going to be here doing whatever. Have fun." Oh, man. So even if you're like, yeah, I guess I'm wrong. Even if you're rich in white supremacy, they don't care. They'll still treat you like crap, even if you're rich. Man, that's awful. Yeah, we have work to do. We have to defeat the white supremacists. We can be an awesome country. So Ron DeSantis, the lawyer for Ron DeSantis, he was asked to define what they mean when they say woke. Like, because they kept saying woke this, woke that, stop a woke act. Well, what do you mean? What does it mean to be woke? So, Tarn Fenske, DeSantis' communications director, said woke was a slang term for activism, progressive activism, and a general awareness of systemic injustices in the country. And then, asked what woke means more generally, DeSantis' general counsel, his lawyer, Ryan Newman, said woke would mean the awareness of systemic injustices in American society and the need to address them. Now, you will see that I've crossed out what he said. What he said was, it would be the belief there are systemic injustices, but that's incorrect. General Counsel Ryan Newman is ignorant of the fact that systemic injustices do indeed exist in the United States. So I've made the correction for him. to correct his ignorance. It would be woke would be the awareness of systemic injustices in American society and the need to address them. So Ron DeSantis, his signature legislation is the Stop Woke Act. Stop Woke Act. That's his signature legislation. Ron DeSantis, Stop Woke Act. And now we can understand what he means when he says woke. We can rephrase his signature bill by saying, Ron DeSantis, stop the awareness of systemic injustices in the United States. Don't be aware of those systemic injustices. Don't be aware. Don't look. Stop looking. Don't look. It's not that Ron DeSantis has a problem with the systemic injustices in the United States. In fact, he rather likes them. Those systemic injustices help Ron DeSantis' ideology of white supremacy. He wants those systemic injustices in place. What he doesn't want is you people to be looking at them. That's the whole point of his stop the awareness, stop you from looking at the systemic injustices in American society that help white supremacists maintain power over the majority of Americans. Ron DeSantis is a white supremacist. Isn't it? It's much better once you can unpack it. That's called unpacking. See, Ron DeSantis took a word, woke, and he charged it so that whenever you hear the word woke, your brain, your body physically reacts. You physically react to the word woke in a bad way because he's negatively charged it. He made the word woke to be a bad thing. So whenever he said woke, it was a negative charge that you felt, right? So that's called packing. He took a bunch of shit, whatever it was, and he packed it into the word woke without ever saying what it was, what it meant. But you nod, wink, nudge, you know what it means. So, the genius of unpacking a word is that you can learn what it is they're talking about. And then you can substitute in that understanding for whatever it is they're saying, so then to make it more clear what it is they're saying. So if woke means to be aware of the systemic injustices in the United States, and Ron DeSantis wants to stop you from being aware of these systemic injustices in the United States, it kind of makes it clear as to how you should use your vote. There's an entire party called the Republican Party that agrees with Ron DeSantis in that they want to stop the awareness of white supremacy from permeating throughout the American consciousness. Why would they want to stop the awareness of systemic injustices from permeating throughout the American society? Well, if people become aware of systemic injustices, then certain people, righteous people, will want to act to end those injustices, end those systemic injustices. And if you are benefiting from those systemic injustices, if you're a white supremacist, you don't want people to take those away. You don't want people to be looking at them. You want people to live under them, not to examine them. So the Republicans want to hide what is truly there. What's there, they don't want you to see. What is God? When Moses asked the burning bush, what are you? Who are you? The burning bush replied, I am that I am. It is what it is. What's there is there. The truth is what's really, really, really there. If Republicans are trying to stop you from seeing what's really, really, really there, who are they helping? Who are they opposed to? If God is what's really, really, really there, and Republicans are trying to hide what's really, really, really there, Who are the Republicans working for? Okay, I think my tools have been repaired. That's enough souls of zombie pigmen. Thank you for your sacrifice. Catch my show every Sunday morning, 8 a.m., where I discuss many things in the American struggle to end white supremacy and to manifest multiracial democracy. It's a great show, right? We've been going through a historical time, and it's nice to have perspective. So, anyways, I will catch you on the next. Peace. Pogokiro out. Stop.